Let's talk about power windows today. Today we're working on a 2008 Chrysler 300. This window motor operates a window regulator, which basically is a mechanism that converts this rotational movement of this motor to a linear movement up and down to make the window travel through the tracks inside the door frame. All of these parts are mechanical. They can wear out. They can cause different problems, such as a stuck window. The window may fall into the glass if the regulator breaks. The window glass itself may fall into the door. If the motor starts to get worn out internally, it can get really slow moving up and down. It may stop halfway and need to cool off before it can travel some more. It may stop working completely. Maybe you hear grinding if the gear wears out. All different symptoms of a window mechanism that's not working. There's other issues you can have also. You can have a wiring problem. The pass through from the body to the door, there's a boot here that has wires in it. From the constant movement of the door opening and closing, those wires can break. Not uncommon, more common in some vehicles than others. The door switches themselves can go bad. You can have problems in the switch. Dirt can get in there. Water can get in there from having the window open during a rainstorm or something like that. Spills happen. Most modern cars have modules that control the operation of all the body components. We're going to go over that today. And we're going to look at how to diagnose a window problem, figure out what's going on, and we'll talk about how much it's going to cost to fix one and how much you can save by doing it yourself. First thing we want to do is verify the operation, right? Now the windows all work on this car, but the process is going to be the same. So if I put this window down, it works okay. I go up, that's working okay. But let's say I go to put the window down and it stopped midway. And I push the switch again and nothing happens. Well, now we have a problem. If all the other windows work, we know that the circuit generally is okay. If none of the windows work, then we know we have a main circuit problem, and we need to look at what's feeding the entire window circuit. So the first thing you want to check is fuses. Always check your basics first. Let's look at fuses. Let's look at the power source. Make sure your battery's charged. Battery issues can cause all kinds of communication problems in modern cars with the network. If the batteries aren't fully charged, or if the alternator's not charging correctly, we have a problem. We can have some communication issues, which can lead to other problems. So we know that the window switch is okay. The switches feel okay. There's no loose buttons here. They're not flopping around. They click when I press them. So we can say that with general certainty, this switch is probably okay. The window does move. Even if it stops a little bit, the window does move. So what I want to do next is I want to take my Mechanic scanner and I want to connect this to the vehicle and see if I can communicate with the vehicle. What my goal here is to communicate with the driver's door module or the body control module, depending on the configuration of the car. And I want to see if I can command this window or see what the switch sees. Now what I want to do here is take this scanner, we'll connect to the vehicle, identify the modules, we'll check for codes first, and if there are codes related to the window circuits, that'll help us in diagnosis as well. Alright, once my VCI is connected and this little green check here is showing, I can hit Diagnostic. Alright, and I could select my make and model, or I could use this Smart VIN feature here, select that, and it gives me a couple of options. Manual entry, scan VIN, or automatic read. Manual entry, I would have to type the VIN in, all 17 digits. Scan VIN is pretty cool. I can scan the barcode with the camera mounted on the back of the scanner, or I could do automatic read, which is what I'm going to do. We're going to use automatic read, all right, and I'm going to let this run. I know I'm working on a Chrysler today. All right, it's going to decode that. All right, here we go. I know that this information is correct. I'm working on a 2008 Chrysler 300. We're going to hit OK. Now, I'm going to do a quick scan and see if there's any codes in this vehicle. And we're going to see what that does for us and see if we can determine if there's a problem with this window system just by diagnostic codes. So we're going to let this run. You see how fast this is moving. This car has a lot of modules in it, and it's already about a little over a quarter of the way through. I'm going to let this run, see if it finds any faults, any codes are set, and see what we can figure out here. There you go. Less than 30 seconds, we just scanned all of the modules in this vehicle. I have one fault in the wireless control module. Let's see what that is. Low tire pressure. Low tire pressure code, which I know to be true because I do have a right rear tire that's low on air. So we know that that's correct. All right. Now let's get back and let's see. We're going to exit that screen and we are going to go to our control modules. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to find the driver's door module or the body control module. And here's the driver's door module. Let's select that. And we are going to run an active test. Active test lets us command the functions of this module. So we're going to go to window control. All right, so currently the window is down. But if I press up for 2.5 seconds, there goes the window. Let's press down for 2.5 seconds. And now the window goes down. So we know that that window is being controlled by that module. We know that the module is actually functioning to be able to control it. So that part is working. When we're diagnosing the window concern, we know that we can command it with the scan tool. We can operate it with the switch. If we remove this interior door trim panel, we'll have access to the window motor and the wiring from it. We'll also have access to the back of the window switch itself and the wiring there. Now on this vehicle, the driver's door module is in the door. So all of the power comes through this boot and controls that module through there. So if I have a problem in this boot here with a broken wire, I won't have any information. I would probably have no communication with that driver's door module because it wouldn't be getting power. If we had the interior door trim panel off, we could use our voltmeter and we could command it with the scan tool again and check for power and ground at the window motor. If we have power and ground at the window motor and still no movement in the glass and the motor itself is not operating, that's a bad motor. Now, in some cases, the motor is sold separately. You can get the motor, you can replace the motor, leave the window regulator and the window intact, and not have to take anything else. On some vehicles, you have to replace the window regulator with the motor. Still not a big deal. You would have to support the glass. I use painter's tape to hold the glass up in position. There's a few bolts that would hold that glass in position. Take the window regulator out with a few more fasteners. Everything comes out as one piece. Put the new part in, hook everything up, put your bolts back in, tighten everything down to spec, tighten up your glass retaining bolts, hook up your wiring, and before you put the trim panel on, it's always a good idea to check to make sure everything's working. Once all that's done, you saved yourself some money. What will it cost to fix one of these motors? Well, to diagnose one of these concerns, the dealership is going to charge you an hour of labor. Depending on where you live, that could be about $200 an hour, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. To repair that, the dealership's going to charge you at least an hour and a half of labor to remove this trim panel and replace that motor, plus whatever the parts are. Now we all know dealer markup's pretty high. You're looking probably $700-800 to replace this window motor. That's if there's no other wiring issues involved. Wiring issues can take a little bit longer to repair, to track down and fix, but you're going to be paying for straight time. If you are going to repair this yourself, you're going to pay for the window motor and any maybe interior clips that might break when you're taking the door panel off, because that's not uncommon. So the window motor, some clips, maybe $80. If it's a regulator and motor assembly, maybe $200 in parts and some time. If it's your first time taking the door panel off, take your time. It might take you 2 hours. 2 hours of your time versus $800 seems like a pretty good trade-off. You save yourself some money by doing it yourself. You'll save yourself some aggravation by using the scan tool to help you diagnose it. I hope this video helped you. I hope you learned something, and I hope it helps you save money. You can do it. We can help.